Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions.
If there's one thing real estate agents get right is having fun.
Yeah.
But not healthy, right? Energy drinks, coffee, all of that. It's really bad. And coming up about a year ago, I was in Vegas and someone kind of pulled me aside, one of my mentors, and just said, hey man, I've noticed that you put on some weight and really got to focus on your weight and your health and, working hard and making all this money. But like, if your health's not there, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I was really upset at the time. I was like, man, how dare this guy tell me that I'm getting fatter, right? Like and we're literally like drinking together and eating. And the guy's telling you, right? But it's kind of, thought about that. And one of my good friends, Mike Proctor, signed me up at his gym for a weight loss challenge. It's free. He literally sent it to me on a calendar invite and was like, show up at 11 o'clock next Saturday. We're doing this weight loss challenge together. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
That sounds terrible. Like, I'm not a big gym guy and I love to eat bad. So those two things together, sounded terrible.
They don't quite,
Started going to the gym, really, really liked it. It's called Latitude 32. It's right here in El Cajon. It's like 2 blocks from my office. So there's literally zero excuses for me to go. And as you know, in real estate, like I don't have to clock in, right? So like, I don't have to be here by a certain time. So there's literally no excuses other than I'm too busy, which means I don't care about it.
Right.
So I did the challenge, lost I think it was like 18 pounds the first time, super excited. By the time the next challenge had come up, I'd gained those 18 pounds back. And then I was like, that sucked.
Yeah.
Like I put in way too much work in those 30 days. So the second challenge, I lost 16 pounds. And then I said, I'm just going to see if I can make it to the next challenge at the same weight, right? I'm not going to kill myself, but I was doing like no alcohol, watching the calories, going to the gym, 3 to 5 times a week. I'm just going to go to the gym and eat what I want, not drink, and just see if I can make it, just be like a normal person, not put the weight back on. Got to the next challenge, 2 pounds down from the previous challenge. I was able to, I think I lost 14 pounds in that challenge. And then did the same thing again. And so, now total, I think I'm down 36 or 38 pounds in about 14 months now. I'm in between challenges now. So I'm back to like normal life, just trying to eat a little bit better, not trying to, do too many of the events, stay off the alcohol, and the empty calories. And then, on the time that the next challenge comes, going to buckle down and keep going. I definitely have seen energy go up, feeling better. People that I haven't seen in a while, when I run into them, they're like, man, like, have you lost weight? And it's always good to hear that, right? And like, after you put out a social media post about it, you're like, do people really notice that I lose weight, or did they see on Instagram that I lost weight? So they feel like they need to say it, but it's been fun as part of that. And, seeing the energy go up and having my kids notice it as well. Cause I want them to be healthy and not them seeing, being unhealthy. So.
Well, you want to be around for them too.
Yeah. And then I just went to the doctors 2 weeks ago, had the best blood test of my life. My cholesterol is better today than it was when I was in my mid-20s. Doctor was really, really happy with it. So that's exciting because I've had some uncomfortable, terrible conversations with my doctor about weight and cholesterol and, bad hearts run in my family. So he was always kind of concerned for me. So, to think today at 43, I have better cholesterol numbers and better blood tests than I did when I was 25 was exciting for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you, buddy. I've told you.
Thank you, man.
But I am truly proud of you.
Thank you. And then, so on the merger part, is Amber and I kind of had a partnership at Keller Williams. We came over to EXP. They're a little bit more strict on at the time, at least they were on team agreements and splits. And so we came over as 2 separate teams, but we had the same office and did kind of a cost share, just kind of took everything it took to run the office and had 2 separate teams. As I'm sure you've seen in our industry, the big teams are getting bigger. It's getting harder and harder to be in that middle. So you either need to have a really, really small team or a big team, in my opinion. For me, coming out of corporate America, when I got into real estate, I said I'd never have a team. I'd never manage anybody. I just dealt with that and that. And so I just wanted to be a lone agent. I literally started my team on accident. I hired an assistant. I had to have a team name. I called it the burner team. That's less paperwork with the DRE, just kind of get it done. And so when Amber and I had met, and we had been partners but ran separate P&Ls and separate teams, we kind of figured out that we waste a lot of time. Being a team leader takes a lot of time, and something as stupid as writing a rent check. Like I wrote a rent check, she wrote a rent check. So just something as stupid as those 5 minutes and us coordinating, is she writing the check or am I writing the check, and leaving it on each other's desk. If you take that and multiply it amongst, if she was meeting with Zillow and I was meeting with Zillow and I was meeting with the website person, she was in marketing, right? Like we were doing everything double.
Yeah.
Or a medium-sized team. Or could we put that together into a big team, and me take half of the team leader job, her take the other half of the team leader job, and then both of us are doing the same thing for, now we're up to 40 agents, but now we're doing the same thing for 40 agents instead of doing 2 different things for 20 agents. And then secondly, her and I are very different. So what I'm good at, she may not be, and then what she's good at, I'm not. So it was very clear of what she should do and what I should do and what we were good at. And we've been able to complement each other. And as we're recruiting people, it's been interesting to tell people that we have 2 team leaders and kind of how we split it up. And I don't know of any other teams that are kind of doing what we're doing that have 2 team leaders, especially a male and a female team leader. And so I haven't seen that a lot. And then, just the fact that each of us have our different skills and are able to jump in to different situations and have different perspectives.
Yeah.
I also think I get asked a lot how I ended up with a female business partner, and I didn't like go out searching for that. It just happened to be her in it. But the biggest mistake I think people make is they try to find their good friends or people they've grown up with to be business partners, or their friends, and they all think alike. And you have 2 or 3, especially guys that sit in a room and they all think the same and they think every idea is good. And so it's good to have someone that thinks opposite of you. So that when you have an idea that you think is good and it's stupid, you have someone that thinks differently to tell you. And Amber is honest enough to say, like, hey, that's not going to fly or it's not going to be good. But with every problem that we've had on our team, and that we're going on a year now, we've been able to look at it from 2 different sides and like 2 different thinking and come up with solutions instead of having everyone that thinks the same and acts the same, trying to come up with the solution and having a bunch of yes people that just always agree. I think it's good to have people that think differently as you're looking at, building a team, trying to build structure, trying to build marketing, trying to build messaging. Everyone has their own opinion on that. But I think it's good to have different views on that rather than everyone who thinks the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have our own way of looking at things as men, right? Women are blessed. Okay. And we're blessed to have them in our lives. I don't know if you've ever read this book, but if you ever get a chance, you should. Our former pastor who did our premarital counseling, married us, the whole thing. He and his wife have written over 40 books on marriage and family. And one of the most popular books they ever wrote was Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. And it's men compartmentalize things into these little squares like a waffle. And women, everything they do looks like a bowl of spaghetti with emotion. It's emotions tied to everything. You can't tell a female to leave their emotions at the door. It's not possible, right? But it's also a blessing because they have intuition, they have feelings, they have things that go on that we just don't have. We don't tap into that side of things. So having a female business partner is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because they bring things to the table that we just don't bring.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And the biggest part for me was just a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that she's good at, she's the best salesperson I've ever met. The marketing side, image, messaging, stuff like that. I can barely type out a sentence. I can read contracts, but my English isn't good. But so I'm like, I have zero input on like team messaging or like what we're putting out or like what should be in there. Like I obviously see it and like, we'll like talk about it. But that was something that was big to her. And that she handles all of our sales training, anything kind of pre-escrow, she manages. So all of our sales training, overseeing the marketing stuff, and then post escrow is where I manage. So any problems people have in escrow, all the problems. I also have my lending license. So if there's a lending problem, I'll jump in to help or call lenders or call escrow, stuff like that. So, and like all of our systems, leads, kind of all the back end stuff I handle, and then she handles kind of all the front end stuff. And we kind of split it down the middle, and we've done a good job of staying in each other's lanes and, not jumping into each other's way.
That's cool, man. It sounds like a really, really good partnership. And it sounds like it was a really wise thing that you did merging.
Yeah, and it's funny that we actually had a mutual friend. We met at Keller Williams. It's a funny story. She sat next to me in a meeting to meet me, and me being the rude person. I'm not a people person. I'm a little bit goofy. I didn't even say hi to her and bailed. So that was actually like our first meeting was me ignoring her in a training where she sat next to me to meet me. And then we ended up being friends and partners. But she loves to tell that story that our first time meeting that I totally ignored her and just ditched the training. But that's just me. I'm a little goofy with people. I don't like big crowds. And so when I'm in trainings and stuff, normally I'll slide in, slide out. I don't talk to a lot of people, but I literally sat next to her and didn't even say hi to her. And then, maybe 4 years later or like 3 years later, we're business partners running a team together. So
that was Amber?
Yes.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
So she went to a training to meet you, and you just basically
so like she was already at the training, but we had a mutual friend. And so she sat next to me so that we could meet each other, because her friend had said like, hey, my friend Ron Berner works there too. She saw me, sat next to me so we could meet. I never said hi because that's just me at a meeting. And I've gotten better since then. And she's coached me on like how to actually talk to people a little better. And part of what we're supposed to do at meetings is network. But I just went and sat to the meeting. The meeting was over. I got up and left. I didn't say hi to like one person in there. And then on the second time, she sat next to me and introduced herself to me because she knew I wasn't going to say hi. Right. So it's really not the best way to make friends and find a business partner, but it worked out for us. But it's funny that we actually met at Keller Williams and then ended up working together and, sharing some ideas. And she started her team kind of right after me. So we were kind of working on the same thing. So it just made sense for us to kind of work together to figure them out, online leads, stuff like that. And I built my whole business on online leads. I'm a big Zillow guy. I was at Coldwell Banker before on their online lead team. So I built my whole business on online leads, and she built her whole business off social media, friends. And so we kind of thought, hey, like if we can put the best of both worlds together and bring in the online leads and kind of teach people how to do that and kind of keep that going. And then if she could teach my team what she was doing with sphere of influence and social media, obviously that's more profitable because you're not paying for the lead. If we could put both those together, that would be better than just us trying to run on our own and figure it out on our own.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so we've had a good year this year. Last year, if you take like the deals her team did on my leads and my team, we did 49 million last year. Wow. This year we're on pace for about 95 million. Awesome. So almost double this year when the market is down. And we're really hitting some good traction right now, getting a lot of agents calling us. We have a lot of newer agents that have come to us. We had a guy that closed a deal today. It's his 30th day on the team, and he has his first closing. So we've done really, really well with new agents and done really well with putting on like a training program. And it's so fun to watch, new agents come that are barely licensed and help them get into transactions right away. And it's been a change for me. Instead of being excited about your own escrow or figuring out your own problem, now you're, helping other people and seeing their excitement when they're able to get their first deal done, second deal done, or get through their, first major problem they have in an escrow.
Yeah, it's rewarding when you build people up, right? And you help them get to where they need to be. It's really, really rewarding.
And for us, like when we moved to EXP, we had a very new team. I was a brand new team leader. Amber was still brand new team leader. And we had a lot of first year and second year agents. The cool part now, 3 years later, those second year agents are now in their fourth year. A lot of them are still on the team. We got those first year agents are 3 year agents.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.